When I walk into a place, I immediately kind of erase everything I see and redo it in my head. Seeing the transformation that happens, that is what I'm waiting for. The adrenaline rush, the high that I get after. My name is Maneli Wilson. Interior design is not only my profession, but it is also my passion. I look at spaces as a blank canvas. Growing up in Tehran, Iran, my mother was constantly redecorating our home. So I was introduced to the decorative arts at an early age, and it has always been something that has struck a chord with me. I feel that materials are the foundation of great design. I particularly love natural materials, wools and silks and mohairs, things that are natural and don't bring toxic chemicals into their homes. Perhaps it's going to cost a little bit more money, but from an environmental standpoint, it means that you don't have to replace it 5 years down the road. I think my job and the reason why I'm hired is to really think about the small details that are not necessarily so obvious, so in your face. These are the things I honestly lose sleep over at night. This is actually 2 pieces of stone, but you would never know because, I was very particular about having the seam run behind the line of the hood, so it would be absolutely invisible. My inspiration comes from all over. I think having been fortunate enough to live and work in Soho for the last decade, it has really become part of who I am. And I'm always mesmerized by the architecture, by the streets, by the people. And I could walk the same streets in Soho over and over again, but see something different every time. Sometimes I have a vision in my head for what I want for a space, and it has to be a custom piece. It's a process, and sometimes for a client it takes longer than they had anticipated, but it's worth the wait. One of the things that I love about interior design is that my clients are really living in my art and what I've created for them. So it's not just something they're looking at on their wall, it's not something they're wearing, it's where they're living. From the towels in their bathroom, the sheets on their bed. And for me, it's such a wonderful feeling that I have had a hand and an influence in all of these details in their life. And to me, that's just intoxicating. Perfection is relative. Machine-made things are perfect by definition, but not always the best. Things that are made by man. There's always going to be something that is slightly imperfect, and I think that is beautiful, and that is something to embrace and emphasize.